Hey, so are you ready to, like, really dive deep into a story that's shrouded in mystery?
I'm ready.
We're talking about Prophet Idris,
Absolutely.
a figure we find in the Quran. And, he lived in a world so different from ours.
Yeah.
We're using this article, The Incredible Story of Prophet Idris, a journey of knowledge, faith, and ascension.
Okay.
And let me tell you, this isn't just some, like, boring history lesson.
Right.
This is about the prophet who is actually credited with inventing writing.
Wow.
Yeah, you heard that right. The first writing.
That's amazing. Well, what's so fascinating is that Prophet Idris' story, it takes us way back to, like, the very beginning of human civilization, right?
Oh, wow.
He's a descendant of Adam.
Okay.
And he bridges those early days of humanity with the established prophethood.
Okay.
Like, imagine a time when knowledge was fragile, it was whispers, passed down.
Right.
And it was at risk of being lost.
Oh, totally.
With each generation. That's the world Idris lived in.
It's almost impossible to wrap my head around that.
Yeah.
A direct line going all the way back
Yeah.
to Adam. So he's a descendant of Adam living in a time before writing.
Right.
And then he becomes a prophet.
Yes.
And not just any prophet, the first prophet after Adam and Seth.
Exactly.
Those are some gigantic shoes to fill. What was he even dealing with back then?
Well, you got to think about it. Humanity was still trying to figure things out.
Right.
They were trying to understand, like, their place
In the world.
in the universe,
Yeah.
And Idris had this huge responsibility
Oh, my gosh.
of the divine message that had been passed down from Adam
Right.
and Seth,
Wow.
and the Quran, actually, in verses of Surah Maryam.
Okay.
And Surah Al-Anbiya, these are chapters of the Quran, for those who are new to this.
Okay.
They describe Idris as a man of truth,
Okay.
a prophet, someone raised to a high station.
Man of truth, raised to a high station. I mean, those aren't titles that you just get.
Exactly.
Those are serious titles. It really makes you think, like, how important his message must have been.
Sure.
What was at the heart of everything he was teaching?
His core message was this. He wanted to remind people about their fundamental purpose,
Okay.
to worship God, to resist the temptations that lead them astray from that.
I see.
Ditch the bad stuff.
Okay.
Embrace honesty, integrity, and just live a life,
Dedicated.
dedicated to God.
Yeah.
These are values that I think still resonate even today.
They do. It's incredible how, like, those core values, they really do transcend time.
Right.
Even though we live in a world now with so much technology.
Yes.
So many distractions.
It's true.
But that importance of, like, having a moral compass.
Right.
Of connecting to something bigger
Yes.
than ourselves, that's never faded away.
It hasn't. It really speaks to this, like, inherent need
Yes.
that humans have. We need guidance.
Totally.
We search for purpose.
Yeah.
For something more than just, the material stuff.
Right.
And Idris, back then, he was that guiding light. He was navigating a world that was, dealing with those same big questions.
Wow. So we have this incredibly important prophet guiding his people, trying to get them on the right path.
Trying to.
But then, here's where things get even more interesting. This man of truth.
Okay.
He's also the one who we think invented writing.
That's incredible.
Which is one of the biggest inventions in human history.
And think about it. Before writing, knowledge, it was so limited.
Yes.
It was just based on memory, how far your voice could carry.
Wow.
But what Idris did, his gift
Yeah.
allowed us to record it,
Wow.
to capture those stories,
Yeah.
the discoveries,
Wow.
everything that makes us human.
And pass it on.
Pass it down.
Wow.
It's not an exaggeration to say that invention, it's the foundation
Yeah.
of every library, every book,
It's true.
every single scientific breakthrough.
It all goes back to that.
Imagine, just for a second,
Okay.
no laws, no recorded history.
Right.
You can't even, send a text.
Right.
That's the world before writing.
Mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It's true, though. We absolutely take it for granted.
All the time. We don't even think about it.
It's everything.
It's the backbone.
It's the backbone of everything.
It is.
And not just that, math, astronomy, even tailoring.
That's right.
These are things we still do.
amazing.
All these things are attributed to him. It's like he was a one-man Renaissance man.
He was.
Centuries before the Renaissance.
That's what makes him so fascinating, though, right? He embodies this, fusion of faith and intellect.
Totally.
Spirituality and actually doing things, practicality.
Right.
And he challenges us, too,
Yeah.
to rethink those walls.
Yeah.
To embrace knowledge and faith
Right.
together.
Such an important message, especially now, because it does feel like sometimes those are at odds with each other. Yeah. We have Idris, the scholar, the prophet, the innovator. He's guiding his people.
Mm-hmm.
But just like a lot of other prophets, he faced pushback too, right?
Yeah.
How did he deal with that?
It's a great question.
Especially back then, when you think about it.
Right.
These messages might not have been received very well.
You're absolutely right. Even with all his wisdom, his teachings, some people just wouldn't listen.
Right.
He faced doubt, people questioning him, even flat out rejection, just like honestly prophets who came after him.
Yeah.
But what's really striking is his commitment, his unwavering,
He never gave up.
never gave up. He stayed true to what he believed.
Wow.
He embodied patience. He persevered, even when things were really difficult.
It's a good reminder. To stand up for what you believe in, it takes guts.
It does.
You can't help but wonder, what was it like for him every single day? Where did he find the strength to just keep going?
It's true. It's inspiring, right? It's like this beacon reminding us that the journey towards understanding,
Yeah.
growing spiritually, trying to make the world better, it's not easy.
It's not.
It's through that perseverance,
Okay.
that unwavering faith that we can actually make a difference.
I like that. Okay, speaking of journeys, Idris's story takes a very interesting turn
Yeah.
when you start talking about his ascension to the heavens.
Oh, yeah.
This is where things get really, really remarkable.
Hold on tight because we're about to get into the world of the extraordinary.
Okay.
The Quran in Surah Maryam, it tells us that Allah raised him to a high station.
Okay.
Now, there are a few different ways to interpret this.
I see.
But a lot of scholars, they believe this is referring to a physical ascension
Wow.
to the heavens.
Really?
Yeah, it's similar to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that night journey,
Right.
the ascension to heaven.
Right. Isra and Miraj.
Exactly, Isra and Miraj.
Yeah.
But Idris's experience,
Yeah.
that's unique.
Okay, wait. So we're talking about a physical, going up to heaven.
Some believe so.
That's next level.
Right.
Tell me more. How did this even happen?
So one of the kind of most common stories that's told,
Okay.
it talks about Idris being really good friends with an angel.
Okay.
And, Idris, he's driven by this thirst for knowledge.
Right.
He wanted to understand, what happens after we die.
Oh, wow.
Mortality.
Okay.
So he asks his angel friend, can you take me to the angel of death?
Oh.
I know. And the angel says, okay. And guides him, takes him through the different levels of heaven.
Wow.
They journey all the way until they get to the fourth heaven.
A fourth heaven?
And it was there, in that place with the angel of death, that Idris's soul, it was taken,
Oh, wow.
fulfilling Allah's promise.
Wow. To see those different levels of heaven, to stand there in front of the angel of death.
I know, it's hard to even,
It's fun and magical.
imagine it.
Right.
How do you even explain that?
Yeah.
You can't.
It's a story that, really captures the imagination.
It does.
And even though, the specifics, they might change depending on who's telling it,
Right.
the core message
Yeah.
is the same.
Okay.
Idris's faith, it never wavered.
Right.
He never stopped searching for knowledge.
Right.
And his heart, it was pure.
Yeah.
And because of that, he earned this incredible honor
I see.
in the eyes of God.
So it's about more than just the things that he did.
It's about who he was.
Right, exactly. It's about striving to be better.
Yes.
So we're looking at the story of Prophet Idris,
Mm-hmm.
his family going all the way back to Adam, his teachings, this incredible ascension to heaven.
It's quite a story.
It really is. What are the big lessons here, the things that we can take and use in our own lives?
Well, I think one of the biggest things we can take away is the power of knowledge,
Okay.
but not just having it,
Right.
using it responsibly.
Idris, he didn't just receive knowledge.
Right.
He shared it.
Okay.
He was a pioneer.
Yeah.
He wanted to use what he knew to help people.
That's amazing.
Think about writing, right?
Yeah,
That one thing, it speaks volumes.
it does.
Before writing, the most important ideas,
Yeah.
they could just disappear.
Right.
If someone died before they could tell someone else.
Right.
Gone.
Wow.
But Idris's gift,
Right.
knowledge could outlive us all.
It's a reminder that knowledge isn't meant to be a secret.
Right.
It's not about holding on to it for yourself. It's about sharing,
Exactly.
empowering others,
Using what you know to make a difference.
like Idris did.
Just like Idris. And, another thing,
Yeah,
it's that patience, that perseverance,
right.
especially when things get rough.
Yeah, because life isn't always easy.
Definitely not.
So Idris, he faced all this resistance, these challenges.
He did, but he stayed focused.
Wow, he never gave up.
Never wavered. His faith, it was strong.
It's a good reminder for all of us, really.
It is.
Because, in the world today, it's easy to feel lost sometimes.
Right. You can get discouraged.
But Idris, he's like an example of how to just keep going.
Dig deep, find that inner strength. Remember, progress.
Yeah.
Not always a straight line.
Not at all. And then there's that other big thing.
What's that?
His focus on being a good person, living an ethical life.
Right. Morality. He always talked about that.
He was always pushing people, turn away from sin,
Be honest.
have integrity,
Live a life that's,
meaning.
dedicated to something bigger.
It's a message that, honestly, we could still use today
Oh, absolutely.
with everything so focused on, getting ahead.
Material stuff.
Money, success.
He reminds us that true fulfillment,
Yeah.
it's not just about personal achievement.
Okay.
It's about contributing,
Yeah.
making a difference
It's like you were saying, be better, do better,
for yourself.
and for everyone around you.
Yes.
Powerful stuff. And, when you look at everything,
Yeah.
Idris's story, it really shows you the power of having faith.
It does.
His unwavering faith, always searching for knowledge,
Right.
trying to understand God's creation,
Right.
living a righteous life, and all of that,
Yeah.
it led to that amazing ascension.
An incredible journey.
It makes you think, if we could be more like Idris,
Yeah.
dedicating ourselves to something bigger,
Totally.
maybe we could do incredible things too.
Unlock our own potential.
Yeah, experience things we never even imagined.
Absolutely.
It's really powerful.
It's a reminder that, taking care of our spiritual side,
Okay.
connecting with, the divine,
Yeah.
it can take us on a journey,
Right.
one of growth, enlightenment, and ultimately
Yeah.
fulfillment.
This whole deep dive, it's been amazing.
It really has.
So much to think about. It's inspiring, makes you kind of look at things differently.
It does.
If we were in Idris's shoes, trying to guide everyone, what would we do?
That's the question, isn't it?
Right.
What would we say?
Yeah. How would we even begin?
With so much going on in the world today, it's a big task.
It is. But it makes you really think about, what's important? What do you value?
Exactly.
What kind of impact do you want to make?
We may not invent writing
Right.
or ascend to the heavens, but
Yeah.
we can try to live by the same ideas.
Okay.
Pursue knowledge, keep the faith, be good people,
Be better.
be better, and seek that connection to something bigger.
It's a good reminder that no matter how complicated the world gets,
Right.
those things,
They still matter.
they do,
You're the keys
to a good life.
to a good life.
So, to wrap things up, this deep dive into the life of Prophet Idris, it's been amazing.
Full of surprises.
Definitely. So much to think about. And hopefully it's inspired you as much as it's inspired us. Until next time, keep those minds curious and those hearts open.